Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Madihah binti Mahamud and my metric number is 264565 and I'm from group 3. So in this video, I will present about introduction part related to the business ethics and corporate social responsibility initiative related to COVID-19 undertaken by the Malaysian banker sector. So, looking back at the 2008 financial crisis, many were worried about how to regain trust in the financial sector institutions and how banks can make a greater contribution to sustainable social and economic development. So, since then, the spotlight of the issue is how they were putting up with the ethical responsibility, particularly the CSR concern. They surely have developed their own CSR strategies to sustain the financial sector growth, business and trust in the public. But since the banking sector is different from the other sectors of the economy, so the activities of the CSR are also different. So the more focus is on the accountability in the areas of bank lending, investment, and asset management operations, where the conflict against the bribery and money laundering are especially uh, relevant issues. So, becoming the core elements of the anti-corruption campaign, which is the key part of the bank CSR activities. And first and the foremost, first and foremost responsibility is on the economic, which is banks create new opportunities for the risk management and the effective mediation of the resources, which is involved in developing the new products, redefining the existing products, and creating the new channels. The second responsibility is legal responsibility, by which concern about the regulation is determined by the statutes, and its aim is to minimize the risk and ensure safety and the confidence. Through ethical responsibility, which is include voluntary constraints, also include the fundamental standards of fairness, fair conduct, respect, and transparency in the financial sector. So, the highlight of this paper project is to find out the business ethics and CSR that had performed in the general field, which is done by the business firms and in the banking sector, especially while battling with the outbreak COVID-19, because the current pandemic and its repercussions have contributed to significant global social economics. So there are five major groups that the firms have listed down according to priority, which are the employees, the customers, shareholders, community, and the environment. So I will shortlist the kind of the CSRs, which is, for example, for the employees, CSR toward the employees such as job security, fair remuneration, safety, leave passage, and so on. Because this has been done by the companies such as Amazon, Amazon, Starbucks by paying the employees during the time off or the time paid leave during this pandemic. And for the customers, for example, like online service, deferred payments due to financial difficulties, home delivery are some of the most critical problems in these situations. And for the community, like donation in kind, food charity to the frontline medical officers, donating to the people in need, community relief program, and many more. So as for the banking and the financial sector, the approach of the business ethics and CSR may seem different as they provide the finance related service rather than products. Because if we're looking the financial institutions globally, the financial institution may perform several CSR in helping their government to improve the economy sustainable as the world of economy is not going well. So for instance, the State Bank of India employees are providing 100 rupees of core to the PM Cares Fund. Also reported that State Bank of India will include a 0.25% of its net profit for the financial year 2019 and 2020 in the battle against of the COVID-19, as well as response from the Federal Reserve banks that have taken a wide range of measures to mitigate the economic harm caused by the pandemic, including up to $2.3 trillion in loans to benefit the families, employers, capital markets, and the state and the local governments that had affected by this pandemic. Also that to support the US economy and the financial markets, the Federal Reserve has cut its benchmark interest rate funds rate with the rate banks paying to borrow overnight from each other. And the goal of the move is to reduce the cost of borrowing on mortgage, car loans, home equity loans by a total of 1.5 percentage points to 0, taking it out to 0 to 0.2.5, 0.25%, which is near to zero interest. Also, not to mention that Bank Negara Malaysia also taking a great measure to control the Malaysian economy and help the people to sustain in this pandemic. So, in the run up to the January moratorium of 30 September 2020, Bank Negara Malaysia has worked closely with the banks to ensure that assistance continues to be given to borrowers affected by the COVID-19. In fact, the banks are ready to support borrowers impacted by the COVID-19 with repayment plans and other arrangements that are suitable to their circumstances. So in that sense, the banking industry will allow for a targeted extension of the moratorium and flexibility in the provision of repayment for people who have lost jobs in 2020, as well as a person who are still working but their wages have been affected by the COVID-19. They will be given a reduction in the amount of the loan in the proportion to their wage reduction, depending on the form of the financing. In addition to that, the banks have also dedicated to offering flexibility in repayment to other individuals and to all the small merchant entrepreneur borrowers impacted by the COVID-19, and the versatility offered by each bank would consider the circumstances of the borrowers, includes permitting borrowers to repay only the interest part of the loan over some period. Uh, Also extending the total length of the loan to minimize the monthly installment and provide other means of flexibility before the borrower is in more secure position to restore back the payments in full. So this may be some of the business ethics responsibility and the CSR performed by the banking sector, which is outside of Malaysia, globally, universally, and also in Malaysia and other firms, but due to the remaining day of a pandemic situation and nevertheless to seem like it will end soon, might be not. So regardless, pandemic or not, ethical responsibility is one of the strategies that the firms and include banking sector itself consider as to improve their status and continue image in business growth. And that's all from me. Thank you.